All right, so what I want to do now is I want to go over some of the Delta Math questions on line of best fit and creating a scatter plot, correlation coefficient, and strength of linear relationships. So basically, after this video, you should be able to do the 1, 2, 3, 4, the first 5 sections of your Delta Math. The only 3 that you can't do are these last 3, or you might not know how to do them yet. So line of best fit. To do this one, again, all you have to do is draw the line of best fit. So like if you have to click a point, and then obviously that right there is nowhere close to the line of best fit, right? The line of best fit is the point or is the line that goes through the most data points. So I click and then I click. That's pretty good. Let's see if that gives me credit. Is basically if you're within a certain percentage, then it's going to count it correct. So that should be correct. And it's as simple as that. This one right here, well, probably the line would look like that. It would go through, kind of the middle of the points is what you're kind of aiming for. Let's see, that one's good. And so you get the point. So if I, go like that, it should count me wrong because that's nowhere close. Right. So again, line of best fit has to go through the most points. It's pretty much in the middle. That's all you have to do for that question. The next question is create a scatter plot with the data given. And so you have to plot every single one of these points. Again, a scatter plot is just a bunch of data points. The difference with a scatter plot is that the data points actually mean something in real life. In this case, it's just an X and Y. We don't know what it means, but let's go ahead and plot it. When X is 0, Y is 5. So that would be this point. When X is 9, Y is 8, going up to 8. When X is 8, Y is 7. When X is 1, Y is 3. When X is 6, Y is 7. When X is 4, Y is also 7. When X is 2, Y is 4. And then when X is 3, Y is 5. So overall, after you actually graph every single or plot every single point, you have to kind of take a step back and say, okay, is this a positive or a negative graph? I think overall it's positive. So this scatter plot shows a positive correlation between the X and Y. And it says, because as X increases going this way, a positive correlation means Y would also increase. As X gets bigger, Y gets bigger. As X gets bigger, Y gets bigger. That's a positive correlation. So let's hit submit. That one's good. If I show you another one, I'm not going to go through all the points, but this would be the answer. So as you plot them, you could kind of see that it would be kind of going down. So it's negative correlation. And this would mean as X gets bigger, look what happens to Y. Y gets smaller, right? Because as X is 8, Y is 1. But when X is 1, Y is 5. So as X increases, Y decreases. That would be a negative correlation. And then there's this correlation coefficient one. So, show you the question. So it says, determine the type of correlation represented in the scatter plot. Well, this is definitely positive, but let's see if it asks me more than that. Okay, so I don't think it's a perfect correlation. The dots are not like on top of each other like perfectly. I do think it's rather strong. So those are the options. It's perfect, strong, weak, or no correlation. Again, because it's not negative, I'm not looking at any of these. It's not a negative correlation. I would say that it's a strong positive correlation. It's not perfect. It's not weak. Those dots are pretty close together. So this one, man, this one's kind of all over the place. I would say that probably no correlation. looking at it. Let's see if that's right. Yeah, that one doesn't look like it was positive. It didn't look like it was negative, so it's no correlation. This one I would actually say is slightly positive because, as X increases, the Y values do look like they're increasing as well. And it looks like I could draw, like if I was to draw a line of best fit through there, it would definitely be going in the positive direction. But because the dots are very spread out, I would say it's a weak positive correlation. Let's see if I can get a negative one here. Okay, so here's a negative one. So this graph shows a negative, and I would say it's really, really strong. It's not perfect. The dots are not on top of each other exactly, but it's a strong negative correlation. And that one was correct. All right, so line of best fit, scatter plot, correlation. The last one is strength of linear relationships. So again, it gives you this, but the only thing you have to look at is R. Okay, so it says, which of the following represents the strongest negative linear relationship between X and Y? The only way we could tell is what is R. So strongest negative. The answer is going to be which one has an R value that is closest to -1. And it looks like regression 3 is our answer. Again, regression 1 is positive, so that can't be it. Regression 4 is positive. That can't be it. So you're between 2 and 3. But 2 is not, it's closer to 0. 3 is closer to -1. So it has to be regression 3 is the strongest negative. And so that's what you do for every single one